My Lord Chancellor, Mr. Speaker of the House of Commons, my Lords, ladies and gentlemen, we are met here today to give a hearty welcome to Mr. Mackenzie King, Prime Minister of the Dominion of Canada. We have known him a long time, and the longer we have known him, become in other conditions have facilitated this. But from the fields, the airfields of Canada, have come a race of airmen who have not only gathered unsurpassed honor, but will continue to be a society for the greater unities which underlie all written or legal constitutions for the British Empire. My friend, Mr. Mackenzie King, I have known him for over 40 years, first in politics and then in personal friendship, and I know well the steady steps he has always taken during that period to lead up to this great climax of the development and demonstration of the power of Canada. Canada has a future which none can measure. In my lifetime it has doubled, but in very much shorter time it will redouble, and perhaps redouble again. And there they are, this magnificent people, and here is their representative who comes here. And I say that he will give us today a conception of not only of the general participation of Canada in the empire, but of the particular character of the contribution which in our vast and varied organization is always to be welcomed. Canada is the link which joins together the old world and the new, which links the vast American people with whom I trust we shall ourselves develop a fraternal association which joins them by another link. Canada, bound by sacred ties to the mother country, and also by terms of the deepest intimacy and friendship to the United States, clamps the whole structure of this benignant, unfearing, glorious British Empire together into one homogeneous mass, which, when crisis comes for the world as a whole, will never more we have loved him.
Prime Minister, Lord Chancellor, Mr. Speaker, my Lords, and members of the House of Commons. When I received from you, Prime Minister, the invitation to address members of both houses of the Parliament of the United Kingdom, I found myself at a loss for words in which to acknowledge so high an honor. Your kindness in presiding on this occasion, your words of introduction, the traditions and associations of Westminster, and the presence in such numbers of members of the Lords and Commons add greatly to my sense of obligation. Clearly, the maintenance of human freedom has depended upon the preservation of the freedom of Britain. It is our greatest pride, as it is the greatest pride of other British nations represented here, that when for so long a time you alone bore the brunt of the attack, we stood with you in arms against the might of Nazi Germany. The free nations of the world can never forget that it was the indomitable resistance of the people of Britain that bought the precious time for the mobilization of the forces of freedom around the globe. Britain has also been an example to the world in the organization of a free people for a common task. You have astonished the world by the marvels of your industrial production and by the skill and efficiency of your workers. You have never lost your faith. A new energy, a new confidence has been generated in your people. These will endure, and your faith, tested and tried in the fires of affliction, will be firmer and stronger than it has ever been. When victory is won, you will still possess the same initiative, vigor, and endurance, the same skills of hand and brain, the same qualities of mind and spirit. These have enabled the people of Britain to make a contribution to the winning of the war, which, man for man, no other nation has surpassed. In peace as in war, these qualities will remain. In the building of a better world after the war, Britain will be able, by the force of her example, to give the same leadership that she is giving in the waging of war. It is, however, not of Britain but of Canada that I am expected to speak on this occasion. I should like, therefore, if I may, to speak to you particularly of the spirit of Canada as exemplified in Canada's war effort, of the Canadian people. I place first the aspect I regard as most significant. Canada's war effort is a voluntary effort. It is the free expression of a free people. Like the other nations of the Commonwealth at war today, we entered the war of our own free will, and not as the result of any formal obligation. Ours was not primarily a response to a call of blood or race. It was the outcome of our deepest political instinct, a love of freedom and a sense of justice. As our decision was a voluntary decision, so the effort of our people in carrying on the war has been a voluntary effort. In Canada, as in other countries, controls and restrictions have been imposed in order to prosecute the war with vigor and efficiency. But at every stage, these measures have received the overwhelming support of the Canadian people.